Hey everyone, satservice.com. This is the website where you can practice your troubleshooting skills. DevOps, sysadmins, Linux engineers will find this website very fun to play with. This is like a playground, like lead code, but for DevOps and troubleshooting skills. So as you can see, I tried and successfully solved some of the scenarios, easy, medium, and hard. Honestly, I did not solve most of these scenarios by myself because it was too hard, as I'm not a DevOps engineer and my skills are not really that great when it comes to troubleshooting. But there is a bunch of servers that have to be fixed. You're given a broken server and you're given instructions. This time I'm going to give you a hard scenario, Bern. Bern is a hard scenario, and I actually want to show you how to solve it. No one actually has solved and uploaded it before. So let's actually read the description. So there are two Docker containers running web application and database, MariaDB as backend. But if you look at the web page, we see that it cannot connect to database. Curl gives an error establishing database connection. This is not a WordPress code issue. This is not a WordPress code issue. This is like a WordPress DB, something like environment variable issue, right? So there is no connectivity, and we have to fix this thing. There is a test command that you can use, and this should return MySQL D is alive. So let's actually see what we can do here. I spent about 4 hours in total trying to solve this question. So eventually I solved it. Okay, I used ChatGPT, I googled a lot, and I actually kind of learned a little bit more about Docker things, like details about Docker. Okay, so let's actually go to the working directory. We have these three folders. Agent is for actual check, so we don't want to go in there. So there's database HTML. So there is Docker issue, right? This is a Docker connectivity issue, and there is two Docker containers running. Let's see what images we have. Oh, actually we have WordPress latest and we have WordPress SAT. To use the WordPress, we are running WordPress SAT. And we also have MariaDB latest, and they are both reachable through localhost machine. As we can see, there is port 00 means localhost. Now, without going further, let's first see what is the problem. The problem is that we cannot reach a 80 port on localhost. This is a WordPress, so we cannot reach a database through WordPress. It's giving us error establishing database connection. Running a standard test here gives us a problem with unknown MySQL server host MySQL. Again, it's supposed to return MySQL D is alive, but it's returning unknown MySQL server host MySQL. Server host. So what I know about host is that it's not finding the proper name MySQL, but as we know, two containers can connect to each other if they recognize each other by the name. The server host name for the MariaDB is going to be MariaDB. It's not going to be the MySQL because this is the actual name, right? See, that's the name. That's the name of the running container. The name of the active running container will be the server host name that WordPress uses. Okay. So what I can do is first let's actually first inspect the container. So here we have container ID starting with 6F, and I'm gonna look for WordPress DB. We have two environment variables here, and let's actually look into 0EE as it is MariaDB container ID. You see there is none because it's not using the same name. It's using MySQL. Yeah, we see that the MySQL root password and the WordPress DB password, they do match. Okay. So let's actually rename it. Let's actually stop the container and rename the. Let's actually rename the MariaDB to MySQL. Okay, and let's actually stop the WordPress. And I want to remove it. I want to start it again. But this time different. So I renamed the MariaDB, and now it is named MySQL. If I do ps, I have one running container. Okay. Again, I did not actually completely kill it. I rather just renamed and started it again. So now I want to completely start from scratch a new container WordPress, but I'm gonna give it a different set of parameters. I'm gonna give it WordPress DB host as MySQL, and here's the trick. I'm gonna use link MySQL. What this does is that it creates a connection between a running MySQL container, and it gives it an alias MySQL. So it recognizes the running container MySQL by the name, and it creates a connection. The connection is named MySQL as well. I'm also giving it additional variable, WordPress DB host. This variable will be added to this variable. So these two variables, environment variables, WordPress DB password, WordPress DB user, they're already part of the WordPress SAD image. They are not present in the WordPress latest. WordPress latest is just the latest standard, what you could download from the Docker registry, right? WordPress SAD is slightly modified, and it has these two environment variables added to it. So when I do -e, I add the third environment variable here to these two variables. Okay, and I'm going to use WordPress SAD, the actual name. Now, if we run curl s localhost 80 tail -4, yeah, we see that this actual, yeah, we see that this the error is gone. The error that was here, running the same command again, is saying there is no error established in database. The error is gone. So the error is gone. Now let's see, let's do this thing here. Yep, MySQL D is alive. What this does is it actually goes into the running WordPress container. It executes the MySQL admin command. This -h means it specifies the MySQL server host, the host name MySQL, using the root password and using the root username and the password ping, and it does the ping command. Yeah, so I think if I just do the check my solution, I'm going to get the proper name. But let me quickly show you the clues. So there is a bunch of clues. If you cannot solve, you can progress through the clues and you can see the full solution. And again, there is no canonical solution. So there is many different ways you can solve it. You don't actually have to just do this WordPress DB host, this thing, right? You can just you can actually start. Instead of creating this link, you can actually put both containers on the same network. Like you can create network. Like let's actually see the networks here. Right? These are all the networks available. You can create your own network here. Like network, create my network, and you can put both containers just to make sure that they're there. You can put both containers into this my network, and they're going to be there. Both containers will be living there, and they will definitely have a connection. There will be no connectivity issue. Or you can do this one. That's why it's telling us there is no canonical solution. Anyways, let me actually check. And yeah, it's giving us correct. Perfect. Hard question solved. Thanks.